Dr. Belladonna, you are taking the stage, getting to address a crowd of people who are all chanting, doctors not, doctoresses, women can't do anything, just over and over again. What do you say to them before you pull the lights?
Well, my classic line, of course, which is, you can all suck it.
Welcome back to Hack and Slash. Our four monsters are inside the penthouse suite of the conference center in Fort Boulder, where many things have conspired. Dr. Belladonna, her number one final guy has escaped. She has defeated the alter version of herself, Dr. Donald England. But sadly, in the process, stripper, lover, the boy of our hearts, Jack Bacon, died, saving Dr. Belladonna from death.
He was a good man.
Gone too soon.
But this is the moment where you feel the magical energies around you, S. And you realize that with enough lives sacrificed, you may be able to bring back Jack Bacon.
Oh. His mortal body has been felled, but his soul still lingers on in the energies in the void. With enough other bodies sacrificed, perhaps he could return. If you will it.
Oh, I will it. I really need this, S.
So what you know, S, is Mark, the doctor, and Tailspin will each have to kill 30 people inside this hotel. We're talking a full monster rampage to have enough sacrifices to be able to bring back Jack Bacon.
As I'm doing the numbers in my head, how many people are at this convention, maybe?
And do you know what? I'm going to throw this out there for free because you are all aware. There is a VIP crowd gathering to hear a speech from a doctor who may be dead in this room, who is supposed to come down in a few minutes.
There is one certain hall that seems to be filled with just enough people. If you are all up for a little rampage bloodshed.
Yes, that sounds quite good.
If we can get in that room and the lights go out, I could perhaps assist in this. But the two of you, 30 people each.
And I'm sorry, we're doing this all so you can get laid? Just from my understanding.
I'm starting to feel a little guilty about all of this. However,
No, I'm on board. It wasn't a no from me.
I almost feel like this could be a safety issue. If we don't kill this VIP group, there is a chance they could come after us. So, kill or be killed, dare I say?
Can you roll me and manipulate someone against the entire party?
My allure is at 0 now, so 6.
Do you have any bloodlust left?
I only have 1 bloodlust, and I don't know.
This means you are stuck with what we call in the business a devil's bargain, in that you can hang on to that bloodlust, and everyone will realize that they don't need to do this, and you don't get Jack Bacon back, the man of your heart. Or you spend this point and get back Jack Bacon, but you don't know what comes next. But love will flow strongly within you.
You know what, folks? Although I was very hot and horny for Jack Bacon, I don't think it's worth it. I don't want to sacrifice this because I really, truly, sincerely appreciate all the help that you gave me, and I want to help you on your quests too.
Bloody Mark will 100% try and manipulate her to kill everyone. Can I do that?
Yes, let's find out what happens if you also do this, because no one was convinced.
I think you might have misunderstood me. I was just trying to understand the parameters. But I would really like to, yes, let's do it. That is a...
Oh.
So this manipulates, so it's -2, but that's still a 9.
Okay, you were in a situation where no matter what everyone in this room decides to do, you will mark experience. So... let's say you all decide to put it to a vote, as you have had to over issues in your support group before where no one could find consensus. Who is voting for the massacre? Bloody Mark is voting. Tailspin is voting. S is also voting for the massacre.
All hands in.
Kill
hands
them
in the
all.
circle. Let's-
Well,
no,
if
let's
you're
just do
all
it.
in,
Yeah.
I'm in. For sure. Okay.
Let's do it.
We'll call it preemptive revenge.
Should we do preemptive revenge on 3?
1,
2,
3.
Preemptive revenge.
And we cut down minutes later to the VIP speaking room where there are 3 exits, one being guarded by S, one being guarded by Bloody Mark, and the last being guarded by Tailspin. Dr. Belladonna, you are taking the stage, getting to address a crowd of people who are all chanting, "Doctors not, doctoresses, women can't do anything," just over and over again. What do you say to them before you pull the lights?
Well, my classic line, of course, which is, "You can all suck it."
And with a cry of "You can all suck it" echoing through the room, you pull the lights and the massacre begins. Can everybody roll me a kick some ass?
Can we say before this that you healed yourself so that you're not dying?
I think I'm okay.
She made her choice. You're fighting now.
Choices
Never mind,
have
you're
been
in.
made.
Swing and a miss for me. I have 5.
I got an 8.
I got an 11.
I got a 4, but I think I want to spend one of my luck points because I want to not only, probably not as deep in the melee, but I'm trying to gather all of the bloodshed and all of the souls to make the Jack again.
So you're
So I'm
committed
going
to
to
this
use my
violence.
point to do that.
Great.
Yes.
So this
You're
is an
so sweet.
absolute slaughter. Tailspin, you're still getting kills. Nobody's going to 0 in a room full of people and no way out. But you are flying around, and what you're finding is your rate of being able to swoop down and capture people and scare them and rip their souls out in the dark where you can't see very well. It's not that it isn't effective. It's just a lot slower than a guy with 2 knives going, rah, just spinning as fast as he can and like dancing next to everybody dying. The doctor's throwing poison bombs. And it seems like you may not actually get your targets before people could get out the doors, only because the room is so dark. S, you actually replace all 3 doors with portals to the shadow realm.
Yeah.
And people who are trying to flee are just running into like a nightmare realm and freezing solid and dying, and their souls are fusing the magic. So S, you have the body of Jack Bacon in front of you. Can you roll me a sorcery roll?
Yes.
They use magic. This is going to be big magic, but you are going to get a +1 from each of your friends who are killing a bunch of people. So we
That's lovely.
I'm adding the additional 3 to what you normally roll.
Very good.
Ooh, here we go.
And it is
Ooh, yeah.
9, 10, 11, 12.
Plus
another
sorcery is another 2.
Is another 2.
So that's a 14. So your magic goes off without a hitch to the point where there are no glitches. There's none of the weakness that you've experienced with magic before. In fact, it's even greater than you ever hoped. But you were the one who is making Jack back into a monstrous version of a person, not the doctor. So this is perfection in your eyes, beyond what you'd ever, your wildest dreams. What does Jack Bacon come back looking and acting like? What are his powers? What is a perfect Jack Bacon?
Jack Bacon looks exactly the same, only his eyes have gone completely black. I'm trying to recreate him with all of the same kind of personality, the way that he talked, but he has absolutely no moral compass now. He has no good or bad. He's just experiencing things as they are without judgment on them and without any human feelings about it.
It's so dark in here, but where is my beauty? He says, standing up. And then he says, there you are. Perfect as the moment I left you.
Jack, thank God you're back.
Just a second. And Jack reaches over and there's a guy on the floor just going, and he just raises a boot and stomps the guy's throat. And he goes, I don't want you haunted by any sounds. You need to be able to focus. You're so smart.
I think maybe we should give them some alone time, right? Like Usher. Like, you guys have fun, enjoy in this sex prison torture room, and just close one of the doors.
Yeah.
Didn't you have fun?
I'm imagining it's been a while since you've engaged in sexual congress, Doctor. I'm saying this is the keeper, not as Jack, just to be really clear on that. He's not opening with that line.
It has been a long time. Dr. What's-His-Face was the last man I ever ever laid with.
Then I imagine you might be a little stressed in this moment. So for this fade to black romance, can you roll me an act under pressure?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the time. I'm
Can we
going to
give
tell
her
you
a
this
boost
right
if
now.
I grab the speaker and I start playing These Eyes?
Yeah, I will give a +1 for that.
Okay. I got 10, actually.
So you have this moment where he's like, don't worry, your ex is gone. It's just you and me and these dozens of corpses in this dark room where your friends did an unholy ritual.
That's hot.
That's so hot.
Oh, Jack, you know just what to say.
This is the most beautiful place I can remember, he says completely honestly. Just lay down here and I'm going to put on a show for you. And he rips off the bacon thong and throws it out the door. And you two engage in with an 11. Incredible sex. But an hour later, Doctor, you come back out fully satiated.
God.
And Jack Bacon has stolen an outfit that he's cobbled together from the bodies in the room. What is he wearing? Because you would have helped him pick it out.
Sharp-looking pair of slacks and a mismatched suit jacket, but he fucking pulls it off, I'm going to tell you. He can wear anything.
On the way out of the room, he just says, wow, I'm glad I can't die, because if I could, that would have been so good it killed me.
Oh, Jack.
And the two of you go and rejoin the group, both of you blushing intensely as you go. So what do we do now? Says Jack, because Jack doesn't really understand the plan. You all know that there is the kite burning event taking place where the president is burning kites and talking up drones. This has been scheduled at the airfield outside of town next to the military base. So you need to make your way over there.
I assume in the hour I'm back to normal, Mark.
If you want to act under pressure, you could stay Bloody Mark, or if Bloody Mark's given up the body,
I think
go back
after
to
an
Mark.
hour, he's probably like, Jesus Christ. can't take this long, I swear to God.
You all climb back into your 2019 maroon PT Cruiser.
No, I want to fly.
There it is.
I need to fly there.
Tailspin is staying in the skies over everybody.
You need a minute.
Yeah. I'm going to say this storm overhead is getting a little bit more powerful as things go. What does a level 3 Tailspin look like?
He is a 1980s Whammo speed kite. A
Hello.
little bit smaller than the box kite, but ultra fast.
Wow.
Did you do kite research before this?
This is just interior kite knowledge.
Do you know kites?
Yeah, I mean, it's all just inside knowledge. You know?
This is where Kevin started from on kites.
I was so impressed with when you hit box kite. I was like, oh yeah,
That's a different kite.
I was so genuinely impressed. It's like shit. There's more than one kite.
You're thinking there was small kite, box kite. I don't know. Really big small kite.
Big small kite. The same kite, but
Small
big.
kite, but bigger, yeah. So you are racing through the sky. Can you roll me an act under pressure, Mark, to try to keep pace with Tailspin, who's in the sky, to see if Tailspin arrives first or if you manage to keep up in your PT Cruiser?
And I'm -1 act under pressure. And I feel like it's because someone's been fucking with my seat preset. It feels like a big stripper was in here a little. And it's all oily. The seat's all. Oh, something's wrong. Was somebody driving this thing when I was all blacked out? That is a 7.
You manage to keep up, but just as you pull up to the base, you blow a tire on the PT Cruiser, so you will not have access to the vehicle for the rest of this adventure.
Someone parked the car in the Harvard yard.
Tailspin, are you staying in kite form, or are you coming down and becoming Benjamin Franklin? Because this is an event where previously you would have expected many kites flying, but you're seeing most people walking in with a kite under their arms or other events. They're not flying, and the wood is in place and gasoline has been poured on it to do the big kite burning.
I think I need to revert to my Benjamin Franklin form.
There he is.
There it is.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
The dramatic reveal.
You're not a president.
So I think since this is a quasi-federal event, I think I can parlay my Benjamin Franklin look-alikeness in order to get closer to where the president is going to be by glad-handing everyone and getting them out of my way.
Great. I'm going to give you a +1 ongoing for this whole scene because you do look like Benjamin Franklin, and I think that would help you out in getting through an event like this in an impressive way. So you were arriving. You were seeing streams of people coming in to this airbase. They're right on the airfield. The tarmac has been shut down and is just available for this. There are a number of hangars around you that you can see in place, and there's the control tower, and then there's a small building that is traditionally used, you would guess, from the outside for people to sit, wait for planes. It's for passengers, that kind of thing. This is a small private airfield. It's not a big spot, but it is next to the military base. You're seeing a couple hundred crowd coming in. You'd expect more kids than we would have now for a kite flying event, but when it shifted to kite burning, I think a number of families were like, we're going to give this one a pass. And it led to a different crowd. And you are all expecting President Herbert Combs to come on down and attend this event. Before you leave the car, even though the tire has blown out, I will flag for you, Dr. Belladonna, that you are heartily injured.
Yeah, I think I need to take a beat because I was very distracted with everything that went on at the event center. So I agree. I need to do some heal thyself. I think I really need to pull out some of my doctor's tools and get some serious healing done.
Did Jake do that to you or what?
No, it was the Dr. Donald, and then I got distracted with Jack. Oh,
Jack.
God.
Uh-oh.
I got a 3. Folks, I'm totally fucked. I might have to stay with the PT Cruiser.
How much harm do you currently have?
I have 3.
You have actually made your injuries worse. You spilled some of the toxins from inside your bag, and when you opened the door, you were exposed to wafts of fresh cut grass. You were getting blasted by the environment. So you can absolutely participate in this. There is the option for another member of the team to do first aid on you. So the whole team could kind of summon their dark energies to assist if you wanted to, or you could just move forwards. And Doctor, it would just mean that while you are participating, you would have to avoid anything physically strenuous, or you could literally die.
Mark's got some first aid.
Yeah, and I think S would just, smelling this of, Doctor, you have the stink of death upon you, and S can heal themselves with shadow magic, but I don't know if that works on other people.
I would say for other humans, no. For other monsters who've also been inside the void, you have more understanding of them.
The comfort of the void in my pocket.
They're so generous.
Yeah, so I would say you want to do healing work. Jack Bacon in his soulless suit business just like hunches over to block the sun so the Doctor is in shadow.
Oh,
We love
that's
him.
so nice.
Does anybody else want to assist with that? I think, Mark, you were going to help.
Yeah, I assume maybe on the PT Cruiser I've got like a shitty first aid kit. And before it goes in the thing and I pull out like some gauze and I'm like, is this...
So roll me a join forces.
Marcus, anything would be appreciated.
No, go fuck yourself.
Mark is trying to help, but unfortunately, you are trying to do magic, yes. And he brings a mundane medikit and starts trying to slap Band-Aids on things, which does not work on a supernatural being. He doesn't actually understand what's going on.
Paper?
I don't know. Ooh.
6, 7, 8, and then if I had my sorcery, it's 10.
10, meaning you have no weakened effects. The magic fully works. So how much do you heal?
I think I just heal a 1 harm injury.
So you're at 2 harm now, but you are stable. So due to the magical binding that is going on, your injuries will not worsen just by doing things. So you are free to act, but you are weaker. Though you do have Jack Bacon around to be an inhuman shield at this point, should you use him as such. But note that every time he dies and comes back, he will come back more and more changed if you can even get him back.
Thank you, everyone, for your efforts. I sure appreciate it.
So you're all stepping out to participate in this event. Obviously, you are trying to get close to, I imagine, the podium where the president would be standing. Is that true, Tailspin? Great. So you're making a move on there. What is everyone else doing? You are seeing this crowd forming around the bonfire. There is a podium set up for a presidential address.
I would like to read a bad situation and see if I can pick out if there's any like secret service guys in the crowd that we need to keep an eye on.
Great. So you're reading a bad situation by watching the crowd. S, what are you up to?
I think I'm going to try to investigate a mystery because to me, this is the situation we discussed of the humans being afraid of kites. And I just want to know more about if they happen to have some special thing versus kites. I would like to know about it so that I could warn Tailspin.
So you were trying to learn about a human relationship with kites. That's the mystery you think is actually going on. Incredible. Roll dice for that. Doctor, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think I need to do some investigation myself.
Great. And then I would say you could either read a bad situation or count an investigative mystery roll, Tailspin, just on your travels. The stuff you overhear while glad handing, I think, would also allow for either of those if you wanted to. All right, Mark, what did you roll?
I got a spicy 7.
Spicy 7. All right. And you were reading a bad situation?
Yes.
So that'll mean you get it one hold. So what do you want to try to learn? You know, you'll get one answer narratively, but what is the question?
Any dangers we haven't noticed? I was kind of trying to see if I could see guys with their little, their earpieces in or anything else we might have missed.
Yes. As you are kind of going through the crowd looking for Secret Service, you are surprised that you don't see any. It doesn't seem like there are Secret Service even here, but if this wasn't the president because Air Force One was struck by lightning and crashed, the Secret Service would have gone down with Air Force One.
Right. This isn't the real president. I just assumed even a fake president would have Secret Service.
But the thing that you are noticing is a bunch of people are looking at their phones, and you're seeing that they have the Shadows app on their phones, and it says pre-launch beta. And you realize that they will be able to download and use the Shadows app in minutes.
I'll elbow S and be like, remember that thing?
What?
Look at this. And I'll pull out his phone and be like, look at this. I didn't even install this. It's like that U2 album.
What?
I don't know. It's not good.
I don't like the evil dark box.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, it cut my head off.
It's a Samsung. It's not, I don't know. It's fine. Anyway, sorry.
But you are realizing that the Shadows app is active. However, 2 members of your team do not know that. But what did you roll?
I rolled a 10.
A 10. Holy shit.
On investigate a mystery.
Which means you get, I'm pretty sure, 2 holds. What answers do you stumble across accidentally?
So, like, what can these people actually do here? And then what is being concealed here? What is underneath?
So you are getting the feeling as you hear this crowd talk that they don't seem as obsessed with kites as they do obsessed with new technology. They've had enough of kites because kites are the past and drones are the future and the president is the future and he's so smart and he's so handsome and he does all the smartest things. So only he can lead us into tomorrow. And you're realizing that they are almost a cult of personality for this president, Herbert Combs, and that the kite is not so much feared as it is desperate to be forgotten for the new stronger thing. Or so these fools think. For
very foolish.
You know how strong a kite is because your understanding of kites is Tailspin.
Yes. Everyone should fear kites.
Yeah. So as far as you can tell, everyone else just has a small tailspin and is not aware of what it's capable of in a storm.
I'm terrifying.
Oh, yes.
And then your second question was what is being concealed? You can tell from the way that these people are discussing the president because you've spent a lot of time on Earth. Which not necessarily engaging with things directly, but just overseeing and kind of overhearing things. This is an unnatural amount of love for a president. You've heard people of all walks and stripes and political persuasions and how much they love the government or don't. More don't than I think love. It's a government. But you've heard all of that. It feels like this crowd is either, you would guess, fueling the president or reflecting the president's level of power. You're not sure, but there is an unnatural relationship here that you feel like is being hidden.
I would definitely come up to Tailspin then. I don't know if he's landed, if he's still in the air.
He's landed and turned into Ben Franklin.
That's
He's
right.
glad-handing with the crowd. I would say you're almost moving as a group. I imagine you would be following Tailspin in the rest of you, but doing the things you're doing along the way. So you'll all share your knowledge with each other, but you can share something specific because these learnings are very specific.
Oh, yeah.
Also, you misinformed him about how these people feel about kites. You're his therapist.
Oh, yes. Tailspin. I need to speak with you. I've made a grave error. These foolish mortals do not fear kites. They think they know better. They think some sort of new drone technology is the future and that it is powerful, but they do not know how fearful and powerful you are. But it seems maybe their minds are being twisted by something greater. They have an unnatural love for this president. I feel something else is at work here. Does this make sense to you?
No. All I know is that they fear me and I want to kill them all.
That makes sense to me. We can kill them and then find out later what this mystery is.
Sounds like a plan.
Dr. Belladonna, what did you roll?
I rolled an 11.
An 11 on
Yeah.
Investigate a Mystery. Can you pick 2 questions that you will end up learning the answer to, but narratively?
I wondered what could hurt it.
Your guess, based on what you're hearing from everyone else and along with what you're seeing with the crowd is moving unnaturally. You're seeing them stack the kites to be burned. And then you're looking around and you're seeing adult people extend their arms like they're a plane and then start running in circles together. And like individually, this is strange until you start taking in the bigger picture and you're realizing that all of them are moving almost like a flock of birds relative to each other. Some are standing, but some are affected. So your guess would be that this crowd is somehow linked to this anti-president. It could be that this new monstrous president is affected by the public opinion of the crowd. Or it could be as simple as, if you kill this crowd and there's no one to see the monster president, where does his power come from? And what is your second question?
What was it going to do?
Your guess would be that there is going to be a speech, the kites will be burned, and then there will be a demonstration of unholy power. And you don't know if that's going to involve eating the crowd or impressing the crowd further, but it seems like this is all building to something terrible at the end of this event.
I feel incredibly uneasy, and Tailspin, I don't think we can let him have his speech. We cannot let him burn these kites because
They are your brethren.
yes. And if we allow it, he will only become more powerful, and we have to stop this.
Not even by effigy should I be burned.
Tailspin, did you want to roll an investigate a mystery or a read a bad situation?
It's very much a read a bad situation.
Great. I would say normally reading a crowd would be tougher for you because you're not great at human emotion. But this is a crowd that is linked with a construct, and you are a construct. So I'm going to shift this in the rare case to a +1 because you are trying to socially understand the crowd. Because a construct's impact on humanity is one thing you know very well.
All right. +1, all people rolls.
That is
as
a
Ben,
9.
so it's a 9.
Absolutely. As you were advancing through the crowd, you do manage to get up to the very front. And what are the questions you want to learn? I believe you get 1 off of that list.
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed yet?
Your guess is, as you look at the phones of the people around you, because you can understand phones. You're somebody who turns to the TV for information. You're somebody who turns to the written word. You can see that you are minutes away from the beta launch of the Shadows app, and you do not know how that will affect this situation. But that has been the last listed threat from S's concerns. There's an official launch party tonight, but tech companies can be tremendously annoying in beta launching things beforehand when there are more bugs. So this could be a test crowd for that, which could mean that you're actually dealing with 2 great monsters instead of 1.
I was just realizing that Mark is kind of the only normal person, and it's been a full day. And so as they're walking through the crowd, he sees some like carnival food lined up, and he's going to go, oh, there's a security threat over there. You guys go on ahead, and I'm just going to go lock that down. I'm going to go check that out. So he's going to leave and use his "don't worry, I'll check it out" ability. So whenever he separates himself from the group to do something innocent yet very stupid, he gains experience. So he's going to go and get himself a hot dog because he's starving.
Great.
But then I was also going to see if I could double that up with oops to stumble across something important. Once per scene, I can find something important and useful, though not necessarily related to my immediate problems, but just important and useful.
Do you roll for that?
No, it's just a once per
You just
once per
find it.
scene.
You go over to the
Hot dog,
snack
the
cart where
closest
they
hot
have
dog
they have a couple of concessions that have been rolled out that are very shitty, but they are present. Clearly last minute rolled together here for this to happen. And you see that the back door to the control tower, like the air control tower, is open. So you make your way in and up. And you
I
realize
get a hot dog first.
Oh, of course you get a hot dog. Yeah. But you realize you
someone
can
left
go
this
in.
door open.
And what you discover is you have a great view from up in the tower, but also there's no one using this air control tower right now. So you have the ability, if you want to, in any way, turn on the radios and start telling planes what to do. That's available to you.
That's very interesting. He's just sitting up there, like, messily eating a hot dog, and he's, like, looking at all the controls.
You have 3 hot dogs in one of those little cardboard containers because you were really hungry.
And I assumed he took some money off of Dr. England in the room. He just took a 20.
Let's do a past roll. Can you roll me an act under pressure for remembering to steal money from a dead doctor?
Oh, yeah.
There will be no negative consequence to this narratively, but I mean, subtly.
Yeah. I can only buy 1 hot dog.
That's what we're going to find out.
Act under
Man, I'm
pressure.
still hungry.
He got an 8.
Looks good.
You got an 8. Here's the deal. You actually stole the $200 that you needed, that you had spent. So you were out the
sick.
cost of 3 hot dogs, which is $15 and disgusting at an event like this.
That's fucking outrageous. No fucking way. 3 hot dogs.
So you have $185.
Yeah.
And you didn't buy a drink. Okay, so you're sitting in the control tower.
I'm keeping such good tabs about my money. 185, just in case.
Meanwhile, down at the front of the presidential audience, you have a moment for the 3 of you to try to formulate a plan of what will happen when the president comes out. Because you can tell from the bustle of the crowd, and you're seeing the mayor and a couple of other important-looking business folk standing near where passengers traditionally hide out, which is behind the stand. So is there anything you say to each other? Are there any plans you form before this kicks off? Tailspin, you're in the lead here. Everybody's kind of backing your play.
I just want to kill everyone in the audience and teach them a lesson. Whether or not they're afraid of kites, preemptive revenge.
Now it is your time for preemptive revenge.
I support this plan fully. I know this is really hard for you, so whatever I can do, I'm here for you.
Yes, we support you.
I will need your help to keep everyone together, to keep everyone from running.
How are the 2 of you going to prevent this crowd from fleeing this open tarmac or slow them down?
Yeah. Are there already flames going? You said they didn't
Everything
set it
is
on fire
prepared,
yet.
but the fire has not started yet.
I'm thinking I would like to try and make some kind of shadow barrier so that they couldn't escape. But the only big shadows now are probably the bleachers or big shadows underneath stuff.
Yep. The challenge is there aren't even bleachers right now because it's the open tarmac. However, it is cloudy and overcast. So it is gray currently, but not dark enough to have shadows. I know you're looking at the fire as a possible source. If you got the fire to be big enough, and it is pretty damn big, you do have a large number of people who would logically cast shadows away from the fire in a ring because they are currently surrounding it.
Yes.
I will say, this has been flagged aloud, so you would be able to see this for free. People aren't just standing around with kites to throw down. They've stacked them up in an area where the kites can then be collected and thrown in all at once.
Oh, I thought they were already there.
Some people have it up, but there's this big pile of kites. These poor innocent baby kites. Just level 1 kites, just piled up like innocent children.
They don't even box kites.
Just normal kites.
Let them box.
Their tails are so short still.
But you've got the possibility of setting a ring around the event. The question would be, what are you going to do to save those innocent kites, Doctor, to free Tailspin to be truly violent?
What if we didn't burn the kites, but I used something else from my bag to just slow everyone down and make them dopey like I did at the strip club? Would that be helpful? I know you can't manage the kites being burnt.
It's not even an option.
Yeah, your emotional integrity is very important to me, Tailspin. So I do think I have some gas that would kind of put people into a stupor, maybe.
Great. Let's check to see if you have that gas.
Let me check. Oh, God. Cross your fingers, Tailspin. I've got 9.
It's just enough. And I'm going to say
Minimum.
just enough is not drugging an entire crowd in open air during a storm that is powering Tailspin. What I will say is if you launch it into the fire, you will knock out the front row of people who are most ready to throw kites. So they will go down. But if other people decide it's kite season, it will not eliminate the crowd.
Can you move quickly, Tailspin?
Oh, absolutely. Storms are coming.
All right, so we've
Let's
got
do this.
gas bomb as a plan. Are you planning on starting the fire? And if so, how so, S?
Do people already have torches or anything, or is there just no
You're
fire
not seeing
here
torches.
at all?
It looks like it's going to be set, perhaps ceremonially by the president.
I think it's more just waiting until that fire gets set and there's something that I can actually do.
So you are all in position. Doctor ready to throw your gas bomb. S ready to act once the fire is up and lit. Mark hanging out in the air control tower, eating that second hot dog. Oh, you've earned these. You've earned them so much. You're starting to realize that after this many hours bouncing back and forth between the two of you, you also have to go to the bathroom. You don't have time now to go to an official bathroom, what with the president now stepping out to approach the platform, but it's a pressure in the back of your mind. Tailspin, you see the man you recognize as the president coming out, President Herbert Combs. And this is one of those things that has always made you uncomfortable because the president has shifted lately. He's a regal, elderly gentleman with white hair, and he has begun wearing a ponytail.
Oh.
A source of dread for you in comparison to the past. You're not seeing the Secret Service. You're not seeing anyone else following. The president is just leading this group of people following behind him. And to you, the fact that he is a construct is completely obvious. He walks with none of the hesitancy of regular people. He walks with none of the problems. And the way you used to walk the first times you had experienced gravity. You remember that moment being trapped in a body after flying through the sky, and it is unsettling.
I don't understand gravity. It's a foreign concept.
So the president steps forward and up onto the platform and approaches the central microphone. And he picks it up and just says, and taps the microphone a couple of times. It is a pleasure to be here with all of you, voters, American citizens, the future. The one thing we know is that kites are the past. Kites are a metaphor for our failed choices and our dirty, disgusting past. And that's why we have to burn kites, because it's not just enough to forget them. We have to actively reject the past and build the future with drones and whatever. But most importantly, planes and drones that are shaped like planes. Planes are the future. Planes are everything. And that's why, fuck kites, he yells, and he throws a torch that he lights as he tosses it in, and the bonfire goes up. And you know it is time to enact the plan. S, I need you to roll me a use magic roll to set up your barrier to try to trap this crowd in before people can start throwing kites. Doctor, I need you to roll me, I would accept either a kick some ass or an advanced healing roll because you are using your advanced gas powers of your evil anti-healing magic.
Okay. Oh, shit. I've got 8.
8, there we go.
I also have 8.
Ooh. 8 and 8. All right, so the barrier springs into place, but there is a glitch in the magic. It's not as powerful as you would have hoped. So on the list of glitches for use magic, which glitch is happening?
I take 1 harm.
Ooh.
It hurts me to do it.
Great. You will take 1 harm, but your magic is unaffected. So a massive barrier begins to spring out of the shadows around the crowd. They haven't started to try to flee yet, but if they do so, the only way out is towards the president onto the podium or nowhere because they cannot fly and there's a flame at the middle. Doctor, you throw your gas. You succeed in knocking down the front row. But people say, the kites are fighting back! And you see the crowd turn, and they are now advancing towards the fire to collect the kites and throw them in. You're realizing the psychic link between the president and this crowd may be stronger than you had originally anticipated. But Tailspin, the storm is whipping up around you. It has become a level 4, and you are seeing the president react to this entire madness. And I know from what you are doing... You are Tailspin. You have become Kite.
Yes.
I'm fucking pissed. As a level 4, I become a 5-string Chinese dragon kite.
Ooh, damn.
Here we go.
12 feet long, wings, and filled with rage.
And that rage is visible as light, both wrapped around your body and flowing from your extremities. What do you do?
It's lawnmower time. I swoop down out of the sky and, using my torso mouth, consume every one of those mothers.
You start trying because there's a lot. Roll me a kick some ass.
8.
8. Use.
However, I'm using one of my bloodlusts.
Excellent
Not
choice.
one of them is going to survive.
So you mow down not just a single individual with your mouth. You move forwards and just mow a line through this crowd who immediately start panicking. You make your way forwards. You are kicking absolute ass, and that's when you hear the scream of an engine behind you as you bank around to make a move on the crowd again. And you just see the president, Herbert Combs, his ponytail flapping in the wind behind him as he is just opening his mouth, and you are hearing a jet engine sound come out of him. And he jumps jumps into the air into what looks like a front flip, and he transforms, growing wings, and becomes a full-scale Air Force One. And he shoots forwards directly at you, trying to ram you with his plane wings. So everyone's seeing this. S, you are maintaining your barrier. Is there anything else you do to try to help your friend the kite fight a full-scale fighter jet Air Force One?
If we're thinking about all of the people's love powering this president,
Yep.
I'm thinking getting rid of these people will help more. So I'm taking my barrier and turning it into a pain barrier where it's starting to cinch in and then kill the people around the
Great. Roll me a
fire.
use magic.
Oh no.
Ooh.
It's 6.
Have another skull.
Doesn't work for me.
You try to move the barrier inwards, but it's already so large. And the shadows are here. And with a giant row of people missing, there are just fewer shadows inside this barrier. So you don't have the
getting
ability to
weaker,
move it
yeah.
forwards. It will stay in position, but it is growing weaker. So you're starting to see a few people at the edge of the crowd who clearly are not running towards kites. They are now breaking through, and 1 in 3 is making it through the barrier as they just keep pushing. But the majority of the crowd are still trying to fight their way towards the flames. Doctor.
Oh, God.
You were at the front of this crowd where people have passed out, you and Jack Bacon, and you were seeing people run towards these defenseless baby kites. What do you do?
I want to use my brutality to guard the kites. Because I just feel if Tailspin gets distracted and sees these kites going down, we're all in way more trouble. So I don't want to use Jack as a human shield.
So what do you say to Jack?
Jack, the time that we've had together has been so magical, but I'm part of something that's bigger than all of this, than all of us.
What do we have to do, beautiful? I'm ready.
I need you to sacrifice your body to guard the kites. Tailspin can't witness them being harmed.
So do you want me to fight the crowd no matter what happens, or do you want me to jump into that fire, baby? I'll do whatever you need.
I just need you to do whatever needs to be done, Jack. Don't think, just act.
Okay. Can you roll me a manipulate someone?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I need you to do both. 9.
Jack looks at you and says, I love you, baby. And Jack turns and jumps into the fire. But his sacrifice unleashes a blast of unholy energy because it's energy that you created, S, that is coming back out of Jack's essence and is fueling your barrier. So it snaps into form and begins to creep in as a pain barrier, killing the people at the edges of the crowd.
This is a good
Dearest
man.
Tailspin,
Yes.
Air Force One is flying at you with full presidential authority. What do you do as an 18-foot tall Chinese dragon kite?
Fair question.
It's a great question.
Very honest question.
I throw a psychic fear blast at the plane.
Let's roll a kick some ass for your psychic fear blast.
Aircraft on aircraft violence happening.
Okay.
Oh.
4.
You got that bloodlust.
Do you want bloodlust or a
Got
skull?
it in there. It's the goddamn president.
Oh,
Yes,
shit.
let's go.
Let's go.
Bloodlust.
You successfully cast this nightmare spell. And at the same time that it happens, as Air Force One flies towards you and the president starts to panic, you can just see the plane starting to wobble fearfully as it comes towards you in a move only a construct would spot. It's so subtle. And as Air Force One flies past, you see the force of the wash of the wings as you manage to dodge aside. Air Force One can't hit you. The number of times I have to say Air Force One is insane. It can't hit you. And its propeller blades create such a backwash that all of the baby kites lift off and take to the skies in the storm and escape the crowd. Mark, you were sitting in the air traffic control tower. What are you doing? You're seeing all of this happen.
It's the most fucked up shit I ever seen in my whole fucking life. He's just mucking hot dogs. Holy fuck, they just killed all the fucking people. Was that the fucking president? Are you fucking, no fucking way. He turned into a fucking airplane. I can't fucking, he's like pushing buttons like, are you fucking kidding me? What happened? Jack Bacon just fucking died again. Are you fucking serious? He threw himself on a fucking fire. I can't believe this shit.
I will accept either an act under pressure to randomly do something helpful or read a bad situation to try to come up with a strategy.
I'll try. I feel like he's been able to kind of take this all in stride. Or is he just pushing buttons? I do kind of like that he's just like hammering on. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that.
This thing's fucked.
Yeah, I can't believe this. Like, he's got mustard on some stuff. He's like, oh shit, that can't be good. Yeah, so he's gonna act under pressure. Let's see what happens. 7.
A 7 is pretty good. So you flick through the radio stations by accident, picking up different things until you get the military base. And you're just yelling like, this is fucked. Was that the president? And you're just hearing somebody on the other be like, is something wrong? Is something wrong with the president? What do you need? We see Air Force One has had a hostile takeoff. What do we need? Tell us what we need.
Hi. Yeah, this is Mac. Yeah, you got to scramble the jets. You got to do it. This is the president.
What's the target? Air Force One's taking off. What's happening?
Oh, it's Air Force. It is Air Force One. It was fucking terrorists. Got it. They got on there, right?
Can you roll me to manipulate someone?
Oh my God. Please roll a 12.
You know it, right?
Please roll a 12.
They got in there. Goddamn terrorists. It's a 7, but I'm going to use bloodlust. I don't want this. I want this real bad.
Holy shit, terrorists got Air Force One and they're killing the crowd while they steal the president? Not on my fucking watch. Or my name isn't Father von Sydow. And the chaplain of the local military base, who is normally not allowed to man the radios, orders 2 F-16 fighter jets to take off. They're taking off in the opposite direction, but looping around towards this combat, and they believe Air Force One is a hostile power.
Yes.
A fucking
I love
terrorist.
this world.
Yeah, so Air Force One is swooping around, and machine guns are loading out of it as it prepares to defend the crowd and go to war with you. Tailspin, what do you do?
So Air Force One is preparing to go to war with me.
Yes, swooping back around because you are the greatest threat to the crowd that it can identify. Also, you are a kite. You are the past. You hear speakers come out that just say, fuck kites.
Oh.
Deafeningly loud.
Yeah. By order of the president, die, is a voice coming through the speakers.
Man, that makes me mad. I would love, and I might need an assist here from my therapist. I would love to do a psychic fear blast using shadow energy as an assist on the entire audience.
Ooh, I like this.
Yes.
So you're going to attack the audience with fear and send them into the barrier or the fire, but you will need to be extremely close to do that. So you would have to fly through the oncoming fire from Air Force One to make this possible. But I would allow this.
Sounds great.
All right, let's do this. So I need you to roll. I'm going to say a use magic makes more
Okay.
sense to me than a join forces because you are magically trying to fuel this assault.
10.
10, no negative effects. You are charged with shadow energy as the barrier rises up into a dome with you at its apex, and then the bottom lifts off, and all of the energy channels into your body.
I can tell Tailspin needs this.
Tailspin, you soar down, having charged with this dark energy right through the fire of Air Force One. And can you roll me a kick some ass? That plus, I'm going to say 2 because you got a 10. It was pretty clean.
Plus 2 is 13.
13. With full speed, you dodge through the hail of bullets and chaff and other defenses, and you land smoothly on the ground, blasting out the energy, destroying the crowd. The dark energy shoots out, and all of the families and other groups that were here are all blasted by dark energy. And it shoots out, and then it sucks back, and it's all just dust. You all watch all of the people where they were collapse into dust. And you see Air Force One. You see Air Force One shudder and shoot straight up, impossibly for a plane, but not impossibly for a construct, racing for the storm above. What do you do?
Oh, I follow.
Amazing. Roll me an act under pressure for your pursuit.
That is a 6.
You try to soar and find Air Force One, but it escapes you into the clouds.
That gives me a 5.
Oh, what are you
There
upgrading?
you go.
I'm going to upgrade my brutality, max it out at 3.
Amazing. You upgrade your brutality just in time because as you head up into the skies, you see Air Force One screaming towards you. And it is fully guns blazing, having ambushed you out of the clouds. What do you do?
I use my torso cannon and shoot all of the bodies that I ate up directly at Air Force One's engines to clog them up so he collapses from the sky like the piece of steel shit that he is.
Yes, please. Roll me a kick some ass. I will give you +1 because you do have a lot of bodies you just absorbed.
Ooh.
And throwing bodies into a plane's engine is pretty goddamn effective. Wouldn't do shit to a kite.
That's true. They roll right off a kite.
8.
You will take 7 points of harm from the full ammunition of Air Force One hammering into you. But despite the fact that Air Force One has defenses against many things, those things are all planes. Chaff doesn't stop bodies. Bullets don't stop bodies becoming body parts. Missiles don't hit bodies at all. Your bodies fly forwards and smash through the engines of Air Force One, and you see it fall straight down. And you just hear a voice say, "By the president's order, I'm not gonna die." And then it hits the ground below you and explodes. Can everybody else give me an act under pressure to try to run away from where Air Force One is going to smash into the ground?
I got a 13.
I got a 7.
I got an 8.
You will both take
gonna be
2 harm, S and Mark. This will be ignoring armor. You can't be saved from something happening this way. Doctor, with a 13, not only did you get out, you actually dove into the flames and grabbed Jack's body, and you have carried it out of the scene.
Yes.
That's so me.
When you all look back, or down in the case of Tailspin, you are now in a Category 5 storm. So you have reached level 5, which means you can heal yourself. Using the storm's energy, should you wish to heal some of the harm that had been done to you by Air Force One, because you are turbocharged by this storm. You've taken ultimate massive kite form.
I am going to recharge.
What do you roll to recharge?
Sorcery,
Great.
and I have a +1 on that.
Great. And I will give you a +1 for your recent kill. You got to be amped after that.
Oh, man,
Kite supremacy.
Sounds a little too close to
that is
the other thing.
8.
We do not endorse supremacy of any kind in this show.
One little bit.
That is 8 or
Right.
+1, and
And then
then
that'll be 10. So
10.
what is the effect?
on a 10+, I heal 3 harm.
You heal 3 harm. So you are back to
5.
back to half strength
Nice.
after a blow that would kill anything. And as you all look out and you look down Tailspin, you see stumbling out of the wreckage a construct heavily damaged, President Herbert Combs. And that's when 2 F-16s fly out of the sky. And over the radio, you just hear them yell, Mark, "Not today, terrorist!" And they both open fire on President Herbert Combs and just shred him. It's just missiles and machine guns, and they blow up this alternate president.
Whoa.
And that's when the cell phones on the ground all start to ding. They weren't destroyed with the bodies of your enemies, and you all see that the Shadows app has gone live. And that's the end of that episode.
No.
But we have to ask ourselves some important questions. Did you dispatch your current opponent?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did you kill someone horribly or do something worse?
Oh, God, yeah.
That's for sure,
be.
you guys.
It was
Yeah.
a kindness, really.
Yeah. Did you learn something new and terrifying about the world?
I don't think we did.
I don't think you did this time
we
around.
did this
I think
time.
everything about this world we firmly understand.
We knew, yeah.
Did you learn something new and terrifying about one of the monsters on the team?
I was surprised by having Jack throw himself into a fire, I'll admit. Our friendship is stronger than that love is wild, because this was a driving force for you that you've talked about in therapy a lot.
I know, but you guys really mean a lot to me.
I think that's the third yes. So 2 experience to
Yeah.
everyone around
Yeah.
the table.
Oh, thanks.
Guess I'm just an old sap.
I guess you just love that bacon dick.
I got dicked out real good.
So for everyone here, you are all advancing. You've destroyed an evil president. You've destroyed Air Force One. Doctor, you are upgrading. What are you going to
Yeah.
upgrade?
Go.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
I could still use some more allure, so I'm gonna take it to a 1.
There we go.
Yeah.
You're becoming
The doctor-
more alluring.
You're becoming more and more charming as you keep sacrificing the people close
I
to
know,
you.
right?
Yeah.
It just gives you a sociopath's charm. And Tailspin, you're becoming even stronger and more brutal in defense of kites, in defense of your place in this world, not as a relic of history, but as the present. And all of you now have to deal with the Shadows app and perhaps whatever management has taken over the void. But that's a tale for next week. Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time. Christopher Little, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Guy Edwards, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Garbo Ape, Locke, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia De Los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Nomad, the Wise Paladin of the Badlands, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, Gus Schreider, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.